It's now 8 o'clock. I will call the meeting of the Waxahachie Independent School District Board of Trustees to order. Please let the record show that all 7 trustees are in attendance, and this meeting has been duly called, and this notice meeting has been duly posted for time and manner required by law. First item on our agenda would be closed session. We don't have any reason to go to closed session this morning, so I'll move to item 4, which is our open forum. We do not have any individuals signed up to speak at our open forum, so I will move to action item A, which is consideration and possible action to declare the delivery method for construction projects completed within the 2023 bond. Mr. Collin.
Morning, Board. Thank you, Mr. President, Board, Dr. Hollingsworth. Appreciate the special meeting so that we can work on some of these projects for bond and other things that have popped up. First item today is to declare a delivery method. So before we can go around and hire a contractor and really get to work on the project, we need to know what type of delivery method we're going to use. In the past couple of projects, so if you think back to the high school project, we used a project known as construction manager agent, where the district issues contracts to all of the subcontractors and prime contractors. And so as the owner, we're working with roughly 70 entities to get the work done at the high school. At Simpson, we used a method called the construction manager at risk method, where we contract with one contractor and they contract with all the subcontractors to get the building completed. It'd be my recommendation to you that we continue using that construction manager at risk method. General reasons why, the reason I believe that it would be better for the district is it shifts that financial burden of completion and the building running correctly to that contractor. And so we say we want an elementary school. The general expectation is it's working. If we have an issue, we go back to that contractor and say, hey, this is not working for us. We need this looked at. They secure the subcontractors to come back out and make those changes or modifications in accordance with the design and the scope of the building. In the construction manager agent delivery method, that onus is back on the district, and what we have found a little bit, not things that we weren't able to overcome, but at the high school, we did find some finger pointing when we had some issues in certain areas. So to eliminate that, would be my recommendation that we do the construction manager at risk delivery method for the 2023 bond projects.
Any questions for Mr. Collin?
I have one question.
Yes,
so I know we had a person that was like in charge from the district on the Simpson project. Are we going to have someone similar?
Yes, ma'am. So we will have district personnel who will be the project manager. We anticipate that to be Stephen Mott, and he will be reviewing or supervising those projects. We also anticipate that we're going to get a contractor. We're going to publish an RFP to find a contractor to help us, because that many projects going on for one person is going to be overwhelming in the 2023 bond program.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Anyone else? Okay, I entertain a motion to approve action item A.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Schofield,
Second.
second by Mr. Rogers. Any other discussion?
We do need it stated what delivery method is preferred by the board within that motion.
Construction manager at risk would be our preference.
So here, I'll read it. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to approve the delivery method for the construction projects within the 2023 bond as being construction manager at risk.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Schofield,
Second.
second by Mr. Rogers. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Motion carries 7-0. Okay, next action will be action item B with consideration and possible action to select construction contractor for construction projects contemplated within the 2023 bond.
Board, I'm going to throw you a little bit of a curveball this morning. It's 8:04. So we originally posted an RFP to get the contractors for that at-risk method. But one thing that we did not include was a board interview piece to where you, the board, could actually sit down and talk with contractors and use that as part of our evaluation matrix. So this morning, I'm requesting that you reject all proposals received from the original RFP that was posted and let us repost with a board interview piece so that we lawfully can let you sit down and talk with the respondents, the construction contractor respondents, and use that as part of our evaluation matrix. And we will get that RFP posted this morning. We anticipate opening on the 27th and then looking at interviews somewhere around the 29th of the month of March, and hopefully a decision made by the end of the month.
Ryan, that doesn't require board action, though, does it? It's something we can reject those administratively, which we
No,
will
sir.
do.
The board formally, within 45 days of us opening those, has to formally accept or reject
All right.
those. We can administratively publish the new RFP.
Gotcha.
And that step has been taken, but the board does have to make formal action within 45
Okay.
days of receiving those last solicitations.
Any questions for Mr. Calden? Okay, at this time, we will take no action on action item B.
Sir, I'm gonna need you to reject them.
You have to reject it?
Yes, sir. It's a
Okay,
formal
all right.
action.
Then I will entertain a motion to, let's see, how do you need that specifically worded, rejected?
Yes, sir. Just to reject all responses.
Okay, at this time, I will entertain a motion to reject all responses pertaining to action item B on the construction projects completed in the 2023 bond.
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Kriegel. Second. Second by Mr. McCutcheon. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries 7-0. Okay, move to action item C, consideration of possible action to appoint Kathy Rodrigue, Ellis County Chief Appraiser, as WISD's agent for purposes of filing the property tax self-appeal with the Texas Comptroller's Office.
Board, this one is a little bit of a different one. We haven't had to do this in the past due to a change in state law. We have to name an agent. The genesis of all this, though, is the Comptroller's Office every year looks at the values the appraisal district assigns to properties by category, and they have their own assessment of what they think the value should be. And when you don't fall within that confidence interval, they ding the appraisal district and tell you that your values are out of alignment. When your values are out of alignment 3 years straight, it causes changes to our actual state funding. And so we have a process and a mechanism by where the comptroller's office, the appraisal district office, can actually do an appeal on our behalf, or we can do it ourselves, to go in and show the comptroller's office why their values should be the values that are used and not the comptroller's. In this scenario, the comptroller's office believes our values should have been higher than what the appraisal district has them as listed. So right now, with this approval, we would be appointing the Ellis County Chief Appraiser to file that appeal on our behalf, as her office is the one that has all the information and the knowledge necessary to file this self-appeal for us with the comptroller's office.
I want to point out to the board that this, and to do so publicly, this is a crazy setup. This is the comptroller's office in Austin telling the Ellis County Appraisal District that their values are too low, that these high values that we're seeing in our county were not high enough. And it's driven by the state comptroller's office. And we had the very same thing happen in my previous district. It's unconscionable, and the average voter has no idea that it's being driven by the state, that these local appraisal districts have to jack up the rates even higher than what they've already been raised. And that is not something that is on the bumper stickers down in Austin, and it's unbelievable to me. But anyway.
Any questions? Okay, at this time, I'll entertain a motion to appoint Kathy Rodrigue, the Ellis County Chief Appraiser, as WISD's agent for purpose of filing the property tax self-appeal with the Texas Comptroller's Office.
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Timmerman,
Second.
second by Mrs. Starnader. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries 7-0. Okay, and our last action item, we consideration of possible action to approve the purchase of up to 4 portable classroom buildings from Schultz Construction at a price not to exceed $325,000.
Board, I'm gonna throw another curveball at you again this morning. Originally, we were gonna ask you for 2 portable buildings at Simpson because of student population growth in that area. We were gonna ask you for 2 more to expand the offerings at Little Chiefs Academy so that we could knock down some of that waiting list that we have. We have about 104 students right now on the waiting list over at Little Chiefs. But in consultation with Ms. Clark, and she's been talking with the licensing board for childcare licensing, it's really not feasible right now for us to go in and try to add 2 portables over at Little Chiefs to expand that. That is something that if we really want to do, it's going to take us about a year or so of planning to actually get all of the requirements in place to meet childcare licensing. So right now, I'm going to modify this to ask for approval to purchase 2 portable classroom buildings at a price not to exceed $160,000. And those would be 2 double classroom units that would go to Simpson Elementary, and they would include bathrooms in each of them.
Questions? When will these be delivered and installed, do you know?
I have stated that I need them in July at the extreme latest. And so it's my understanding right now that these units are in stock and can be delivered pretty much any time that we would like them to. They will be coming from Athens or Tyler, somewhere in that area. This does include delivery, mounting or leveling, installation, and the skirting of them. We will still have to come back and do wiring for electricity and water and the hookups. But it does include getting the building here, getting it set, getting it leveled, and getting it skirted.
Anyone else? Okay, at this time, I entertain a motion to approve the purchase of 2 portable classroom buildings from Schultz Construction at a price not to exceed $160,000.
Yes, sir.
Motion by Mr. McCutcheon, second by Mr. Schofield. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye. Opposed say nay. Motion carries 7-0.
Thank you, Board.
Yes, sir. And our last item would be a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second. By Mrs. Kriegel, second by Mr. Rogers. All in favor say aye. Motion carries 7-0. Thank you very much.
Thank y'all.